Hey guys, Josh here again. Welcome back to the channel. Guys, today we're going to work on the DRZ a little bit. One of the big known factors with the DRZ is that during a crash, sometimes the shift levers or the brake levers can hit the cases, the engine cases, and crack them. And that's a big problem, guys. Obviously, if you're out in the trails or whatever, you drop the bike, you bang an engine case, you crack it open, now oil's leaking everywhere, you're dead, right? You're stuck out there without able to ride out of the woods, and it can be a big problem. So for many years, there's been companies out there that made case savers for the DRZ, and basically what it was a piece of metal that you RTV'd or glued or whatever to the case to create a cushion and a little bit of protection for that case, a little more flexibility. And it would spread out the impact of the brake pedal or whatever hit the case, and prevent it from getting cracked or broken or things like that. Well, there's a lot of them out there, guys. You can buy them on Amazon, you can get them from any off-road store. They make these case savers, but I really wasn't keen on the idea of putting RTV and glue and everything on the case and then sticking this piece of metal to it. Now listen, there's no problem with it. I know a lot of guys out there that do a ton of them. I watched videos from like Dork in the Road and stuff like that. They all use these stick-on case savers. But I wanted to do something a little different. So we're going to go over to the bench and we're going to show you the case savers that I purchased. And we're going to get those installed on the DRZ today. Alright guys, so let's unbox this here. Obviously I cut the tape already. And guys, here's what I chose to go with. I chose to go with the Acerbis clutch and ignition covers, X-Power covers. And the reason why I chose these guys is, again, they bolt on, right? So it's just a simple process of, it's two plastic covers, there's a couple of bolts that hold them on, and you're not gluing something to the cases and things like that to install these. So I'm going to get this box open now and just give you guys a look at what's inside here. So here's the two case covers, and here's our hardware kit. Stickers, great, we love stickers. I don't think we need anything else in there. And let's just open these up here. So here's one cover. Here's the other cover. Guys, and you guys all know Acerbis, if you guys do any kind of dirt riding or anything like that, I mean, they make fenders, they make a lot of hard parts, they make skid plates, all types of stuff. And then this looks like it's our hardware kit, guys, and instructions, so we're going to get into that in a minute. But guys, basically these are hard, plastic impact covers so that they can take the brunt of the abuse. The one thing I like about these guys too, as opposed to just the case savers, is the case savers typically were just the two larger round sections that just cover the ignition covers and the clutch covers. In this case, the Acerbis one covers, like, it's got a spot here for the water pump, for the oil filter, for the side cases, and then on the other side, I think this is where the starter is, and then the ignition and stuff like that. So this covers a lot more and offers a lot more protection for everything. And guys, it's really just 1, 2, 3, I think like 4 bolts that have to come out of the case, and maybe 3 on this side that come out of the case, and then they give you the hardware so that you can replace those same bolts right back into the case, and that's what holds this on. The only major drawback that I see so far is that this is where the oil filter is, so every 3,000 to 4,000 miles I'm going to take this whole cover off to do an oil change. But to not have to deal with all the RTV and the glue and stuff like that that has to go into putting these on, I think it's well worth it. There's another company too called Polysport that makes covers like these. They're a little smaller. It really just covers the ignition and the clutch covers. But the one thing I didn't like about the Polysports was it didn't look like there was a lot of room for crap to come out, like dirt and sticks and rocks and stuff like that. Where with the Acerbis, it looks like that there's a lot of holes and a lot of vent spots and everything. So one, it's just going to be, I think, not going to hold on to as much crap. Like even down here, you can see there's slots and stuff where dirt and stuff can get out. Plus, two, when I'm washing the bike, I think just a quick rinse with some water and a lot of that mud and rocks and stuff is going to come out of there. So leave a lot less debris under the covers. So I'm going to get these instructions open because I never did these before, and I'm going to see which bolts we have to take out. I'm going to gather my tools, and we'll meet you at one side of the bike to start putting these on. Alright guys, so I gathered the tools I need. One of the first couple things we're going to have to do is I'm going to have to take the brake pedal off. I'm going to take this little engine guard off here that they've supplied with the bike, and just so I can get room to put that in. And then a couple of these bolts have to come out, and then we can bolt it back in. So I'm going to start with just getting the engine guard off and the brake pedal out, and then we'll get into the rest of it. So the bolts here for the engine guard are 12 mil. So they're easy enough to take out. And there's 2. So this is just a little plastic engine guard that Suzuki puts on the bike when it comes from the factory. Just put this on the floor right here, guys, because we're going to have to put this back on when we're done. So might as well just keep all the parts right where they got to go. So that's those two. And now I need to grab my Allen key here, which I think is 8 millimeter. So guys, just this center bolt here on the brake pedal here, so that's an 8 millimeter. So get that loosened up. All right, so that's now loose and out of there. So put this on the bench, and then now we can move that out of our way a little bit. And guys, you don't really have to take it all the way off, but just kind of get it out of the way so you can slip that cover behind there. You know, there's no reason to go and rip the spring off and everything and try to really get it out. You just need to get it out of the way enough so that you can slide the plastic cover in there. So now what I'm going to do, guys, if you look really closely at this cover, you can see this hole is smaller than this hole, right? And then this hole is smaller, this hole is smaller, and this hole is smaller. So those are the bolts that we need to take out of the cases. So, and then we're going to replace them, but there's a little metal washer and spacer that goes in here. So I'm going to just go like this and be like, okay, I know I got to take this one out at the bottom, this one here in the middle, this one at the top, and then this one down here on the front, underneath the water pump down here. So I'm going to get those out, and those are just an 8 millimeter. So I have just a little 1/4 inch 8 millimeter here, and we're going to just back those out. Now you should have no problem, guys, with like seals or anything like that, because you're just taking these out and you're not taking everything out. So you know, if you were taking every bolt out, then I would say, okay, you might have a problem with a seal or something like that. But since you're only taking a couple out, you shouldn't actually break your gasket seals or anything like that, and you know, no leaks or anything like that. And then you're going to put them right back in, so it's not that big a deal to take them out. One thing to note too, guys, though, is they are different sizes, right? Different lengths, different sizes. So whether you want to say this is 1, 2, 3, 4 down here, or if you want to mark them with paint or whatever, or write a note, but you should just, you know, just line them up in a way that you know which ones were which when you took them out, so that you can put them back in the same spots. Because obviously you don't want to try to cram a longer bolt into a shorter hole or anything like that. So just keep this brake pedal out of my way, and we're going to just spin this one out here. And again, that's a really short one. And then we got to do the other one down here at the bottom and crack that one loose. All right, and that one's similar to the other one. So, okay, so now I got those out. I'm just going to double check my instructions here, guys, because the washers are one-way washers. So they have, they show here, and it's a little bit hard to see. I'm going to get my, they show it here that the flat part of the washer goes out towards the bolt. So I'm going to show you guys that on this washer here. If you look, and I hope you can see it on the camera here, that this washer is got a little ridge to it. So that ridge is what's resting in the plastic, and what they want you to do is put the washer that way, and then that creates kind of a standoff, so that when you can get a tight fit, but it's not really cramping the plastic, it's holding on to just the metal there. So that's how these go onto here, and then the cover goes on. So I'm going to get the cover in place, and we'll get our bolts put back on. So again, guys, this pedal's loose enough now I can slide the cover behind there, get it in place. And God, that really looks good, guys. I think it's going to offer a lot of nice protection to the side of the motorcycle here. And now we're going to start to just get our bolts, and we're just going to get them in there loose just to get them started. You know, like I always tell you guys, it's easier to just, you know, whenever you're doing something like this, just get every bolt started, even though these shouldn't be a problem, and then you go back and you tighten everything down. So we got a super long bolt that went in the top there. This other one in the back here was a short one, which I'll probably need the socket for to do. So we're going to grab this short one here, get this one back in there, okay, get that one started in there, and then we're going to get the other long one, and we're going to put that one at the bottom down here, okay. And the last part about it, guys, is to just make sure that as you're tightening these bolts down and getting them tight again, is that those plastic washers seat in the hole that they're meant to seat in, right? So there's, you know, that little gap in the cover. And actually, here, let me show you on the other cover, guys. In this cover here, right, you can see the hole there. That washer is meant to seat down in. I hope you can see that, guys, but it's meant to seat basically down in that hole like that to fill that hole, and again, create a spot where it can grab and hold on to. So they're supposed to sit down in like that, and then your bolt goes through there. So now we have them all started, all in there finger tight, and we're just going to go back and tighten them down. Guys, honestly, I'm not sure what the spec is as far as torque on this, but these bolts were not all that tight to come out, so you just want to be gentle. You don't want to crank on these a whole lot. My guess is it's probably like, I don't know, 10 to 12 foot-pounds. It's probably not a lot, guys, because it wasn't that hard to loosen them. So you're just going to give a little, just enough that you know that they're tight in there. I'm sure I could look up the spec for these and go back and get it, but I'm pretty confident that I can just use my finely calibrated elbow and get these in there the way they're supposed to be. Alright, so that takes care of the covers. Now we're going to, we'll get our brake pedal back in here. So I'm going to get the bolt for that, stick that back in the hole, and try to line everything up the way it was. Okay, that's the brake pedal back in. And we're going to grab our 12 mil. Now here's what I'm not sure about, guys, is if we're going to have to modify this stock cover at all to cover this, but it doesn't look like it, guys. We can put it back on just like it was and be just fine with the stock cover back where it was. So that's good, because then we don't have to cut or drill anything. At best, guys, I might have to notch this corner a tiny bit with a razor blade or something, but I don't think we're going to have to. I think we'll be able to get the bolts in and get this back lined up the way it's supposed to be. So let's work on that now. Alright, guys, so much like the other side, we have to, we're going to take the engine guard off here, and I think that I can just force the shift pedal down out of the way and get the thing to slide forward. Otherwise I'll have to take the shift pedal off too, but I think I'll be able to avoid that by just pushing down on it and pushing the, you know, monkeying the guard behind it. So let's get this cover off, and then we'll get to marking which bolts have to come out, and then we'll get this install done. Hey guys, I got a little fan running here that Uncle Bogator, if you guys don't watch his channel, Mike and Verity, but Uncle Bogator, go give him a follow. Really quickly, guys, he recommended this little V-Air fan. It's like an 18-inch fan that he found on Amazon. I got it on low right now, but what a difference it makes, giving me a little bit of airflow in here while trying to work on stuff. Huge difference than just sitting there sweating like crazy. So thank you, Mike, Uncle Bogator. Mike, thanks for the recommendation on the fan, because it's a lifesaver. Alright guys, so we got that one off. Just like before, we're going to look for the 3 or 4 holes that we have to take off here, bolts we have to take off here to line up with. Looks like it's going to be this one here. Looks like then the one on the bottom here. There's one back here between the case and some wires, and this one on top here. So, and then this cover will slide in place there. So I'm going to get the washers popped into this cover. I think that might be an easier way to do it. And then I will get those bolts out, and we will continue the installation with the case in place, and then install the remaining pieces. So I'm going to grab my 8mm now and start to take bolts out. Again, guys, if you watched one of my other videos, this is the I have the trackside MX aluminum MX stand here, and what a nice improvement it is to have the bike upright and straight while I'm working on things, because it's otherwise it becomes a very difficult process to try to work on it, especially when it's on the kickstand side like this, because the bike is leaning towards this way, and you know, it's just not a fun situation to be in while you're trying to you know, lean over and look and try to figure out where things are and stuff. So I much appreciate, oops, sorry, I didn't mean to hit the camera. I much appreciate that the bike is upright and easy to work on this way. Obviously, if I had a lift, it'd be even easier, but we don't have a lift yet, guys, and we've been looking on Marketplace and stuff to see if there's a, you know, one for sale and stuff like that, but just haven't really found one we like yet, or that's the right price at the right time, things like that. So you know, obviously I'd love to get an air hydraulic one. You know, they're like $1,300 or $1,500 plus whatever shipping and everything you have to pay. So I haven't been able to find one yet that's reasonably priced. So I'm still hunting for something to purchase to do that with. So, all right, guys. So we got this here. Just trying to figure out. Looks like it's these wires in the back here that are under one of these screws are being a little bit of a problem for us. So I'm not sure how I'm going to get this to still do it. I might have to lose this wire guard here, or I might just, I'm going to pop off, you know something, guys, I think I'm going to take off the sprocket cover for a minute. It's only 2 bolts, it looks like, just to give me some access here so I can get those wires aligned, and then I can put that cover back in. So, you know, you probably don't have to do this, but in my situation right now, it might make it just a hair easier to have that access that's afforded to me by taking this little sprocket cover off. So we're going to pop this off. Be careful as you take it off, guys. There's a metal spacer right here that I'm sure I would have lost if I wasn't paying attention here. So just be careful as you take that sprocket cover off that you grab that spacer and you don't lose it, because I'm sure as heck I would have lost it if I wasn't paying attention there. So let's take this other side off here. Oh, it's actually a whole bracket, so that's good. So let's get that out of the way for now. Now that gives me the access I think I need to get in here and do this right. Alright, guys, so we're back with the cover now. Let's get it lined up on here. I can pull these wires out of the way now. Let's push the brake pedal down out of the way. There we go. Slide that on there. Make sure that wire is still. It might have to go on top, guys. I'm not sure yet. Or I might have to just lose. We're going to have to lose this one wire guide, guys, on here, because I just don't see a way to maintain it and bolt this cover on. So instead of messing with it too badly, I'm going to just lose that one cover, or that one wire guide that was there. And if I have to, I'll put a zip tie on something there. We're going to see on this side now what's holding this up from going in. Looks like this little metal clamp here is holding it from going all the way, and there's a wire guide there too that's being a little bit difficult. So I'm not sure how I can get this. So guys, this side's being a little bit more difficult because there are some wires and some holes and stuff here. There's a part on a water line there that's supposed to be, you know, a little clamp here. So I'm gonna play with this for a minute, guys, and see how I can get it all to just settle in without a lot of effort, because I certainly don't want to just have wires and stuff hanging all over the place. It is, you know, this is meant to go off-road, but I also don't want to have to modify this cover too much and stuff to make everything fit. But looking at it, I might have to mod this just a little bit, maybe to maintain, I mean, that line looks like it's pretty stiff, but to maintain that line there, I might have to cut the back side of the Acerbis cover just a little bit. And the same thing here, there's this little guide here, but I'm sure I could lose this guide and just use a zip tie to hold it to that hose, which would probably be fine on this little bleeder hose here, this little vacuum hose. I think that would be okay. So, alright guys, I'm going to play with this for a minute, and then I'll let you guys know what I do, and we'll get back to it then. Alright guys, so we monkeyed around with it a little bit. We got it set up right now. Got the engine case back, or the engine cover back on guard. Got this, the new Acerbis card on. And guys, they look pretty good. I think they look pretty great actually. And you know, they actually dress up the bike a little bit and offer that protection that we need. So that's going to be it for the install on the Acerbis engine case guards for my 2024 DRZ 400. Guys, these cases will fit every DRZ out there. So if you got an SM, if you got an E model, if you got the S like I have, and I think it's from like whatever it was, 2000 when they came out till now, those cases should fit. So if you guys are looking for an alternative to the stick-on case guards, give the Acerbis ones a shot. They look pretty good quality to me, and I hope they get this out in the dirt soon and test them out. Until the next one, guys, stay safe.